Welcome to Council Connection. I'm Dick White, Mayor and Durango City Councilor. This program is designed to give you a snapshot of happenings at the most recent Durango City Council meeting. This time we look at the March 20th meeting. Our meeting began with a proclamation declaring March Athletic Training Month. It was accepted by Jeff Davis, the Athletic Training Education Program Coordinator for Fort Lewis College. I then presented a statement of recognition for the Women's Resource Center's Extraordinary Women of Durango. Eugenia Miller, MD, Leslie Locke, and Valerie Schwadersky were honored at an event earlier this month. Lisa Barrett, a board member of the Women's Resource Center, accepted the letter for the honorees.
The Women's Resource Center educates and empowers extraordinary women in our community every day, irregardless of their circumstance, their history, or their socioeconomic status. We like to meet them, like we say, where they are in life.
We also welcomed the Fort Lewis College women's softball team during the meeting. Next, we faced a rather lengthy consent agenda. It's consisting of 16 items. The consent agenda is intended to allow the City Council by a single motion to approve matters that are considered routine or non-controversial, usually without separate discussion of the items unless an item is removed. One item that was removed dealt with the letter of support for the grant to help finance construction of the new 550-160 Grandview interchange to replace Farmington Hill. City Manager Ron LeBlanc commended CDOT District Manager Mike McVaugh, who assembled almost $100 million for the project, which involves considerable multi-jurisdictional cooperation.
The item that the council is about to consider is our share of a match for a grant through the Department of Local Affairs, together with the Southern Ute Indian Tribe, who are putting in $500,000, La Plata County putting in $250,000, and the city $250,000. We would be able to apply for a grant from DOLA for $1 million. So combined, the local match plus the DOLA grant is $2 million.
During public participation, councilors heard appeals to reverse planned cuts to transit services. It's a recurring theme and a tough issue we are tackling along with others as part of our community engagement program. I'll have more on that a little later. We did have one legislative public hearing concerning changes to the city ordinance addressing trash and wildlife conflicts. Hundreds of bear-resistant trash containers will be distributed in 2 phases starting this spring to homes south of 7th Street. Then in spring of 2019 to areas west of Main and north of 17th Street to 23rd Street.
Creation of a system where trash containers are numbered and permanently assigned to a property, and continuation of the current penalty structure for residential and commercial users, but in lieu of a citation into municipal court, residential violators would automatically have a wildlife trash container delivered for a $100 fee and the additional $4 monthly charge for the container. And then finally, creation of a program to retrofit or obtain commercial containers used by the city to minimize wildlife conflicts.
Lastly, Council had a lengthy discussion about homeless issues. There are wildfire concerns surrounding the existing camp near the Tech Center. After considerable deliberation, the Council is proposing to relocate the camp to an area near the dog park that will be designated an overnight rest area, replacing the county-operated existing camp.
There's much work to be done if, in fact, Council chooses to specifically direct staff to work on that site. But essentially what we're talking about is some very minimal improvements that would allow for sanitation, some degree of containment so that dogs aren't coming into the area where people are resting. We will work on that in the coming weeks. I think any of the sites that we talked to have their own unique challenges associated with them. I believe we have a similar situation with any site, which is a fair amount of concern by anyone in the vicinity of the site selected. We've already received at least one, if not few additional verbal comments regarding integrating a sheltering area with the off-leash area. Those are issues we will have to work through like we would with any other site.
The fuels are at Missionary Ridge fire status. So for those of us that were here during Missionary Ridge fire, We know exactly what that means to our community. And the threat of fire has been the main concern for this city council, not for our West Side residents, as well as for the people that are camping up there.
We're not just closing down the camp, we're looking for more humane, long-term strategies that we can manage this problem in our community and come out with the best health and safety response.
Where they are currently, they can be in a safe place where they can establish familial relationships and friendships that can look after each other and look after each other's belongings, which creates a more stable state of existence. And what I fear is that we're enacting policies that are short-term to address the public risk, but what I wish and what I hope that we get to ultimately, in the long term, my goal would be to get to policies that work to stabilize this population and mobilize them up and out of homelessness in a comprehensive manner that looks at all stages of homelessness. But the worst part, and my biggest concern about what we're doing in the short term, because that's my long-term goal, is that we are enacting policies that are going to have a negative effect on our the character of our town and our quality of life. And I just need to communicate that.
And as we actually get to the part where we are doing the work, is that the homeless community has a council. I really think it's critical that as this evolves, that those folks are engaged in the process, that they're the ones who help come up with any rules associated with the facility, that they help guide how the facility works, that we gain as much buy-in as possible with that community so that we can have optimal success at whatever percentage of success we're able to have with this.
A motion was approved authorizing the mayor to send a letter to the county to close its camp and collaborate with the city and other options. It is a discussion that will be continuing for some time. There are several upcoming events you might find interesting. Among these, after decades of waiting, Lake Nighthorse opens for motorless recreation on April 1st through May 15th, after which recreational opportunities at the lake will be expanded to include motorized and weekless days through mid-November. This will be preceded by a 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. First to Fish at the Lake event for youngsters 15 and under, Saturday, March 31st. It should be interesting to see what they catch, since the fish that have been in the lake have been growing for quite some time. By the way, you can now purchase season passes to Lake Nighthorse at the Rec Center. Also, don't forget our next Engage with Your City Community Forum is coming up Monday, April 16th, 5 to 7 p.m. at City Hall. Come participate in this important community process and let your voice be heard. After the presentation, we will be offering tours of the police station to illuminate the needs for that department. Please be sure to take our community satisfaction survey by April 20th. For more information on the upcoming forum and the survey, go to durangogov.org/engage. We're taking spring break week off from a study session. Our next study session will be April 10th at 4 p.m. Among other things, we'll get an update on the solar energy study. Our next regular council meeting is April 3rd at 6:30 p.m. And that's Council Connection for the March 20th Durango City Council meeting. I'm City Councilor and Mayor Dick White. Thanks for joining us. And remember, you can always contact your city councilors via email at citycouncil@durangogov.org.